Speaking of Teslas, so I went to Wawa a couple weeks ago. Late at night, just wanted a smoothie or something like that, right? And I just see all these Teslas lined up charging.
Yeah.
And it's like 11 o'clock at night. So I'm like, why are all these Teslas charging? How long does it take a Tesla to charge? Anybody know?
I
don't know.
I don't think it takes that long. I think I think it's a supercharger. I think they're like 30 minutes or something like that. 45, maybe 30, 45 minutes, maybe.
Because it seemed like they were camped out there for a long time.
I know, like other electric cars, because Tesla's supercharging network is different. It's the top notch. I think other ones you can be there for an hour and a half or something. But yeah, you're not gonna. That's not like they're leaving them there overnight and then coming back and getting them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I heard there's big money.
Plus, you can get paid. Plus, if you have a Tesla, and if you leave your car too long, they'll charge you.
Rightfully so.
They'll charge you for sitting there.
Yeah.
Even if it's already fully fueled up.
Yeah.
They'll charge you for sitting there. So because you're basically taking a spot someone else can use.
Those charging stations I heard is big business. If you're able to, they're expensive, hefty price to get them, but I heard if you're able to get them and actually have a partnership with a lot of businesses, big money with those charging stations.
See, I mean, it's residual income right there. I mean, you pay for it. I'm sure you have to pay some monthly costs of the electricity and everything, but you're making a profit. Right. And it's always going to be needed now.
Plus, if you're a shopping center or something, Teslas aren't cheap. So if you're bringing in a whole group of these people who have paid this amount for this car, you're probably assuming that they'll be able to shop more in this shopping center or wherever it goes. Like Wawa, clearly that's not gonna help them. But
upper echelon customers.
But yeah, if you go to like some shopping centers, they're like, oh well, we want to have Tesla chargers because we want people who own Teslas to come here.
They assume people with Teslas, they got money.
Right.
If you
and plus, if I know, it's gonna take you 45 minutes, an hour to charge. Now you're gonna park your car, charge, and you go come into somebody's restaurant or somebody's store, spend some money, and that's a whole nother part of that. Making that money.
Right.
On that end. But I guess we kind of got away from the but I guess we can say, like, with Teslas in terms of monthly fees, if you want that auto driving thing, you got to pay for that. That's an extra fee. I think it's monthly. I think it's a monthly fee you have to pay if you want that car to drive itself,
because they probably have to have monitoring services. Maybe
no, they don't.
But they can use that. They can use that as an excuse to say, well, we have a monitoring center that basically
they
can feed you anytime.
But they don't.
Yes,
but they don't though. It's literally everything is built into the car. It's just cameras. It's not even like LiDAR or anything like super.
So they're literally getting money for doing nothing.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, If you want the self-driving,
and there's nothing legal you can do about it necessarily. There's nothing that they violate because they say, well, it's our product. You don't like it, then
go right. Or you don't have to get that feature. You don't have to pay for it.
But also too, that could backfire because once you have these other companies come out with their EV models and they say we're not going to do that,
right.
That backfires on you.
I mean, Tesla was kind of a monopoly for a while in terms of electric vehicles in America. It was a couple other models, but they were the ones if you wanted to get it. Now other companies are starting to come out with them, but so there is some competition. But at that time, they're the only ones, and the only ones, of course, that'll drive and come get you and all that stuff and crash on the highway.
So do you think it trickles down to? Because I would say with cell phones, it's kind of done it in the reverse a little bit. Because before they used to nickel and dime you for everything. Because now most people have an unlimited plan now. Right. It's kind of the standard.
Unlimited standard.
But 15, 20 years ago, everything was you pay
minutes.
Based on minutes. Or you want a 400-minute package, this is what it costs. 5, whatever. So they nickel
data as well.
Data, once data came in the phone, data was expensive.
5 gigs of data,
And once you went over those times allowed it was premium for it, So, but I think the phones have gone in reverse, where it's just kind of all bundled in one. It's unlimited. The plan. You're no longer worried about
how many minutes
data. So now I got to pay for more and stuff. I mean, yes, you pay for things like the hotspot stuff like that, but they've kind of. I think the phones are kind of done.
I think in terms of the phones, the plans have gotten easier, but the phone has gotten more expensive. Whereas before, you used to pay $200 in taxes.
Exactly.
And
Android phone.
You used to get your phone, and you was good for for as long as you want. It was yours. You owned it. You know what I'm saying? But as we're saying, more monthly fees now.
And it's not like the cost of the materials have skyrocketed.
The phones have gotten a little bit more advanced and more expensive.
They got more advanced, but the actual cost of the material, I don't think has skyrocketed where you can validate a 12.
Because you're paying $1,200 for what would cost you to get a laptop.
How they used to do it, I used to sell cell phones. So how they used to say it was like, we're paying the rest of the phone for you. Like those phones weren't $200, right? But Verizon was saying, we're going to pay off the rest of this phone, so you get you the phone. You just buy the $200, and we'll nickel and dime you on the rates, right?
Okay.
We'll get you there. Now everything's so standardized on the rates. $100 a month really basically where you at.
Yep.
Well, including it, and then okay, let's add the phone on $20 a month here at one time. Then it was $30 a month. Now phones are $50 a month. Easy. To own your phone. So you gotta lease your phone and pay that off. So it's like they kind of flipped it on you.
But also too, as that phone gets older, now software I think has a stranglehold on everything, because now it's like, well, after that phone is 4 years old now, we're no longer giving you any software updates for that phone.
To a new physical.
It forces you to a new physical thing. I mean, whether it's a laptop now. We talk about this all the time. That one laptop I got is 10 years old. But it's like when I installed a new version of Adobe on there, they said this graphics card in here will not be supported next year. So that software will lock me out. Basically, I will not get any of the support from that hardware acceleration as far as chopping videos and stuff. Because they're saying next year's Adobe, even though hardware-wise it can still handle it, we're going to lock it out. We're forcing you.
It's just a capability.
It's a capability.
A compatibility.
Yeah, so we're forcing you now to update to something better. You're going to go out and purchase something different. So it's like, you own this thing, but we phase it out. We own, we own the capabilities of this laptop.
So where functions. What's your foresight? Where is this going next? Like where are they going to rent out next? Is it going to be your appliances? Is it going to be your refrigerator?
Yes.
Your washer and dryer?
Yeah, rent a center. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, not renting the physical, but like the software aspect of it.
Oh, software. Yeah, I was about to say. Physical is happening now.
I don't even think I want all the software on appliances.
Even if you think about Klarna and all that.
Think about who?
Like Klarna and Afterpay and.
I just heard about
these layaway programs.
Oh, no, I get that part, but I'm talking about from a perspective of there's always going to be a monthly fee. So even after you purchase the hardware, even after you purchase your refrigerator, are you have to pay a monthly fee for software to keep your food cold or something like that? You see what I'm saying? Because like think about the car. Think about the car.
Buy the refrigerator, but the freezer doesn't go to freezing.
It doesn't go to freeze.
You gotta buy the freezer package.
You have to buy the freezer package or the dryer. It only goes at a certain temperature.
Man,
you could do fluff.
So I'm gonna have damp clothes.
Fluff costs more.
You can't do delicates. No delicates. You gotta pay a monthly fee.
You didn't pay your bill.
Man, look, man.
They can turn everything off then.
They can turn everything.
Anti-capitalistic Josh will tell you they're gonna do whatever they can do to make money, and they don't care. And as long as people pay for it and use the services, they not gonna care.
I'm not sitting there talking about I can't dry my clothes because
you pay your dryer bill.
Yeah, I ain't pay my dryer bill.
Man, look.
I woke up in the morning thinking my clothes gonna be dry, and I'm like, I forgot to pay that dryer bill. Now my clothes.
You gotta pay more minutes on the dry.
and then you walk out in public, and you don't even gotta tell them what it is. Like, you didn't pay your dryer bill, didn't you?
Or they'd be like, you only get 10 cycles a month for your dryer.
You ran out of your dry minutes, huh?
Yeah.
You can't dry until nights and weekends. You can't dry those clothes until nights and weekends.
Yep. They trying
to. I would have never thought that a company, especially a company like BMW that makes you pay a premium price for their car, would charge you for heated seats.
No, charge you for the use of them.
Charge you for the use of heated seats. A monthly fee. I would have never expected that. I would have expected that from like a cheaper car company being like, look, you don't want to pay for it? Cool. We'll include it. And if you want it, pay extra. I wouldn't have expected BMW to be like, pay $100,000 for this and monthly for your heated seats. Like, I would have never expected that. So, man, I think that these companies are going to try and figure out a way to get you however it is they can get you. I think that's the name of the game. Even sometimes now, if you're looking at like the rate of what that's a different topic. But even like on YouTube, like you're watching like a minute's worth of commercials for a 3-minute video sometimes. Like what's the ratio of advertisement to product? You know what I'm saying? So they're going to try and figure out a way to charge you for whatever they can charge you for. I never thought that plugins would be a monthly fee. I just never thought about it. Like, you can't make a plugin a monthly fee. It's not even the whole program. You need another program to work with the program to host it. So now I got to pay a monthly for the host program and then a monthly for the plugin.
And I'm okay with paying a one-time fee for a plugin, but don't get me monthly. Like I'm okay for paying my fair share for a product, but now you just stretching it. It's like you're just money hungry now and trying to grab at anything possible, and all it takes is enough people to start paying it to validate. Oh, okay, it's okay, I'll pay it. And now it's like now the whole market's like, ooh, we need to take that strategy.
Yeah, it changes the whole market, and then at that point you can feel you any way you want, but they're gonna say, well, if the market shows people are buying into it.
Yeah.
You have no choice but to get on the boat.
And a lot of times they get rid of the product the other way. It's not like they're offering you a paid product and a monthly product. A lot of times they're like, this is the only way you can get it. Yeah. Maybe if you bought it originally, you can keep your old thing. We're not gonna support it no more. We're not gonna make sure it works anymore.
Right.
So then when it, now you got to jump to the new product.
I have that now. The Pluralize plugin. They have a older app because the company was sold to somebody else. That program, I've been grandfathered into because I paid for it outright. But if you've never bought it before, monthly, you're forced. You don't even get a chance to go back and get the older version. You have to pay the monthly one. It's like $30 a month. When I saw it, I'm like, that's ridiculous. Just for a plug-in to sync up the audio and the video. But so it's like at some point, even though I'm grandfathered into the old one, if they really want to, they can just say, well, we no longer, we no longer support legacy products. You have no choice but to upgrade to the monthly one now. $30. And if there's no, and the problem is there's not a lot of alternatives to that type of program. They're pretty much the only person in town, so they can do it. They can do whatever they want. If there was other people in town that offered it, then they probably wouldn't do it that way. But they're saying, well, nobody else has a software like we do. We do what we want, and you'll be fine with it. And what's that term they say now? They like, you'll own nothing and you'll love it.
I'm sure.
That sounds about right. Now.
I mean, even with houses, there's developers trying to buy tons and tons of properties, or they even starting to build rental communities where there's single family homes, but they are for rent. In where I live in White Plains, not too far from us, there's a brand new townhome community. They're nice townhomes. They're not. They're really not. They're nice, but they're not worth what they're being rented for. Like, but it's a rental community. I thought these were for sale, and I went in there, and it was like, no, the sign says rental community, and these are typically 3. I think some of them are 4 bedrooms, maybe 1,900 square feet, maybe 1,800 square feet.
2.
The end units alone, the end units cost more. The end units were like $3,500
rent.
To rent.
And so I think developers are looking at, their original goal was to buy properties, then rent them out or sell them or whatever.
Yeah, sell them.
But now it's like, man, we'll just build a whole community.
Yeah, and
we'll have them forever. We'll pay all the money because they're already leveraging our money that we put in the bank. Build them up, rent them out for some crazy amount. And, if they ever get to a point, they can sell them, but they just going to keep renting them out and just gouging people.
So then you basically have a car in the driveway that you're nickel and dime paying.
Yeah, might be leasing.
Yeah, you might be leasing, and you're paying for all these services on it. Then you have you can have a 3,500 square foot house. Most of the time, somebody have a house that size, they mostly assume that somebody owns it.
Yeah.
But you have a whole community of that. So they're renting that house for this is a 3,500 square foot home. The rent's probably like over $5,000 for that. Depending on where you live. So you think about all that money. There's no tangible. There's no, when they say generational wealth at all, because there's nothing to pass down to the kid. Exactly. They can't pass that house down. Nope. Once they're done with the house, they hand it back to the landlord. That if they're leasing that car, they turn that car back in. If that cell phone is leased, they turn it. So you have nothing.
You own nothing.
Yeah, you own nothing then. And you have no other options really.
So
to summarize that, we're screwed.
It's not that we're screwed. It's that we're in a system called capitalism, and the number one goal is to make money.
Capitalism come back to bite everybody in the butt.
It's like I always said, we get into the final form of capitalism, and it's literally making sure that you pay for everything.
That's the final form.
If they could charge you to breathe air, they charge you to breathe air. I promise you.
We all, and I'm not gonna say we all, but when we benefit off capitalism, we love it.
Of course.
But then in situations where we don't benefit, there's a good and a bad to everything. And obviously this probably is going to be the bad part. It's lived on really long, very long, and a lot of people have eaten really good off of it. But now it's coming back to feast on the people that
Yeah.
That-
I mean, just look at the things that we didn't have to pay for back in the day that we pay for now. I mean, I remember as a kid, TV wasn't a bill. You know, they bought
cable.
Well, I mean, once cable came out, but that was like, the beginning of it.
Oh yeah.
TV was free, content was free.
Right.
Radio, music. Of course, you have to pay for your physicals, but now it's like it's trickling to everything slowly. I'm just trying to predict where it's going, and like I said, I think appliances are next.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm telling you, anything that you can have, and you have to think that a lot of these companies want to reduce cost. So reducing cost is building one thing and then being able to send it out to everybody. So if I can build one thing that has all the features, and I only have to build that one model, and then I can make it sure that each person has the different model that they want, digitally over the software. That's something I could see them definitely wanting to do, because then they don't only have to buy a certain amount of products. They don't have to have a whole bunch of different lines of things. And it could just be like, hey,
that's used in the manufacturing.
Yeah. You want your drill to be able to go through concrete. All right, you got to pay for the 10 more volts of power. For your motor to use 10 more volts of power.
Let me connect to Wi-Fi. I got to update my.
Yeah, I got to update my drill. Wait, I don't have enough power for this. You
try to update the firmware on your drill.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, these cameras, you can update the firmware on these cameras now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Course.
Everything has.
And what if you get hit with one of those where it's a subscription-based service where
the
software on the cameras needs regular updates?
Oh, no.
And if you don't pay your monthly fee, they'll shut down.
My monthly fee of a camera I just bought outright.
Yeah, we need to maintain it.
And then what if they can say, hey, Joe, we know what type of things you like to shoot. You like to shoot weddings and stuff. So there's a special fee. Yeah, you got to pay for that.
You got to pay for the pro license.
So we know what kind of money you're probably making. So you got to pay for the wedding pro license, level 1. But then there's a level 2.
Yeah.
You want to be able to use a higher ISO. Yeah. It's level 3.
You got to pay for that.
Yeah, you got to pay for all that. And then nickel and dime you everything. And it's like, what do you do?